Blog Talk Radio.
President recognizes Mr. Adams of Massachusetts.
Objects of the most stupendous magnitude. Measures which will affect the lives of millions, born and unborn, are now before us. We must expect a great expense of blood to obtain them. But we must always remember that a free constitution of civil government cannot be purchased at too dear a rate, as there is nothing on this side of Jerusalem of greater importance to mankind. My worthy colleague from Pennsylvania has spoken with great ingenuity and eloquence. He has given you a grim prognostication of our national future, but where he foresees apocalypse, I see hope. I see a new nation ready to take its place in the world. Not an empire, but a republic. And a republic of laws, not men. Gentlemen, we are in the very midst of revolution. The most complete, unexpected, and remarkable of any in the history of the world. How few of the human race have ever had an opportunity of choosing a system of government for themselves and their children. I am not without apprehensions, gentlemen. But the end we have in sight is more than worth all the means. I believe, sirs, that the hour has come. My judgment approves this measure, and my whole heart is in it.
All right, everybody, Josph Gibson Broadcasts from Greensboro, North Carolina. Before we show how stupid people really are here in this country, we're going to go live here in about 3 minutes here. I'm just lining up some more callers here, and then we'll take live callers, unscreened, uncensored, like we always do. Just looking for something else here real quick, and then we'll go live. All right, hang on here. I had it lined up here. Just be patient. And then we're going to show how real dumb people really are. But if you want to have a voice here tonight, 657-383-0616, press the number 1. We'll go live in 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
All you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
They're all the same. I'll show you politics in America. Here it is, right here. I think the puppet on the right shares my beliefs. I think the puppet on the left is more to my liking. Hey, wait a minute. There's one guy holding up both puppets. Shut up. Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control.
I had this feeling, man, because you know there's a handful of people actually run everything. That's true. It's provable. It's not I'm not a conspiracy nut. It's provable. Handful, very small elite run and own these corporations, which include the mainstream media. I had this feeling who's ever elected president, like Clinton was, no matter what your promises you promise on the campaign trail, blah, 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 when you win, you go into this smoky room with the 12 industrialist, capitalist scumfucks who got you in there, and you're in this smoky room, and this little film screen comes down, and a big guy in a cigar roll the film. And it's a shot of the Kennedy assassination from an angle you've never seen before. It looks suspiciously off the grassy knoll. And then the screen goes up, and the lights come up, and they go to the new president. Any questions? Just what my agenda is. First we bomb Baghdad. You got it.
That's right, folks. And now they're getting ready to do Iran and Venezuela. So you just keep voting. Vote for your wacky Bernie, Joe Biden, or Trump. Hate Trump, whatever. You know, just keep arguing amongst yourselves and keep doing a good job. The Second Amendment's bad. The Constitution, the white European invaders, blah, blah, blah. Just keep it up. You're going to get your new world order. We had the governor of Colorado last Saturday on the podcast, if you missed that. That was a very interesting podcast. So I'll open up the phone lines here, and then I've got a couple phone calls to make here just to prove how stupid our dumbed-down society really is. And I'm sure you'll like that, but some people here are waiting on the line. So tonight's an open platform. There's no guests, so we'll see how long the show lasts. Of course, I get attacked by trolls constantly on social media, especially Johnny Longfeather, that scumbag. He sent me a tweet. I posted it on Facebook, actually, just to prove how stupid a lot of the people here are on Blog Talk Radio, how ignorant they are. And, by the way, the chat room is not a rather smart chat. The Blog Talk Radio had no right to change the chat room. It worked for years, and it was fine the way it was. And they say, well, it's to weed out the trolls. It has not weeded out the trolls. It has not. We can get into that a little bit more if anyone wants to. You can call in and talk to me about it and tell me why the chat room is better the way it is now. I don't think it is, and I know it's not. And besides, that's not what I agreed to when I first started podcasting on Blog Talk Radio in 2014. So, first, private caller. Let's see what you got to say here. Go ahead. Private caller, you're unmuted. Go ahead, private caller, unmuted.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, hello.
I'm a gay man, don't get me wrong.
I'm not getting you wrong. I'm trying to hear what you have to say. I can barely hear you. What do you got to say here tonight?
I don't feel very godly right now. You know what? I don't fuck what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing to you.
Okay.
Suck my fucking dick, you fucking ass white.
All right, there we go. That's very good. There we go. There, you see, that's when I open up the phone lines. That's what Blog Talk Radio gives you. Did they really get rid of the trolls, folks? Did they? Did Blog Talk Radio really do that by switching up the chat room? And what now? What are they gonna do next? Put up a moderator for the phone lines? Is that what Blog Talk Radio is gonna do? You know, that's why I'm switching over probably to iHeartRadio, where I'm trying to make sense of that convoluted mess, so we can carry on the show here, understanding the times in which we live in today. But I would like to talk to dumbed down liberals. They're so stupid and uneducated, but we're going to find out how uneducated people are here right now before I take any more calls. All right, let's see here. Let's call somebody here, and just follow along with me. You'll love this. You'll see where I'm getting at here with this phone call. No, we're not calling the criminal corporation, but we're just going to call somebody stupid. Okay. There we go. Let's call somebody stupid here. I bet they'll give me a stupid answer. Hang on. Let's call this.
Thanks for choosing Domino's.
Presione 2 para español.
Get 2 or more large 2-topping pizzas for only $10.99 each. Order as many as you want at this great price.
I can?
Your call is being transferred. Please hold.
This call may be recorded for quality and training purposes. Someone will be on the line shortly to take your order.
Yeah. I got a question for him. Yes. How you doing? Do you guys accept Federal Reserve notes?
I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
Do you accept Federal Reserve notes?
Let me ask.
Okay.
I don't think so, sir.
You don't accept Federal Reserve? Oh, so what form of payment do you receive then if I wanted to order a pizza?
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on.
Oh, my. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. I'm sorry.
Hi, this is Dylan with Domino's. How can I help you today?
Hey, Bill, how you doing? I just wanted to know if you accept Federal Reserve notes.
Federal Reserve notes. You mean cash?
Well, yeah, Federal Reserve notes. Yeah. That's
so like U.S. currency.
No, that's not U.S. currency, but Federal Reserve notes. You know, well, yeah, I guess what you call a $1 bill or a $10 bill. I was just wondering if you knew what a Federal Reserve note was. Quite clearly, I guess many people don't know what a Federal Reserve note is, even though they carry it around in their pocket every day.
That's just a weird way to ask. Yeah, we accept it.
Weird. Okay. All right. So you accept Federal Reserve notes then. So if I came in to
buy we sure do.
Accept Federal Reserve. All right. Well,
yes,
thank
sir.
you. I appreciate your time, sir. All right.
All right.
Yeah. See what I mean, folks? They don't even know what a Federal Reserve note is. Let me Google it on my dumb phone. What's a Federal Reserve note? What's that Egyptian pyramid mean on that $1 piece of paper I carry around? What's Novus Ordo Sanctorum mean? Hang on, G, wow, LOL, G, OMG. Oh, that's how dumbed down our society is. How can you explain the Federal Reserve System on a podcast radio show? How can you do that when we do shows previously in the past when 99.9% of the people in your community don't even know what a Federal Reserve note is? How can you explain how money works? How can you explain history to people? How can you? They don't even probably know what the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 is that enslaved them. They don't know. How can you explain these things? How can you have a conversation on social media? I just called a pizza place live on this podcast, and you heard it for yourself. Shall we try one more? Let's try one more. Just maybe this person will know. How do you explain how? And you're going to go vote? These people are registered voters. They're going to go vote. No wonder why your country is so screwed up. No wonder why. Unbelievable. And I'm going to take live callers, but I just want to show I'm just proving a point how dumbed down our society really is. How stupid they are. Didn't you just? I mean, it just drives me crazy. And these people vote. Second Amendment bad. Second Amendment bad. First Amendment bad. You offend me. Stupid. They don't know. Let's try one more here real quick, and then I'll take some more live callers. Okay. And then we can have some more trolls call in, maybe. I'm just proving a point of how dumbed down our society is. If I asked them what an iPhone was or a smartphone or what kind of dumb phone they had in their pocket, I bet they could tell me. Or what LOL means on Facebook or OMG, I bet they could tell me that. But they don't even know what they carry around in their pocket. And they're a business. That's a business. Let's approach this next call with a little bit different way. Let's try that. All right, here we go.
Thanks for choosing Domino's.
Presione 2 para español.
Get 2 or more large two-topping pizzas for only $10.99 each. Order as many as you want at this great price.
Many as I want.
Your call is being transferred. Please hold.
Great.
This call may be recorded for quality and training purposes.
Yeah, you need to
Someone will be
record
on the line
quality
shortly
and
to
training
take your order.
Hello, thanks for calling Domino's and Oakers. This is Zach. How may I help you?
Yes, how you doing tonight, sir? I was just wondering, do you accept Federal Reserve notes?
Let me ask.
Oh.
Someone will be on the line shortly to take your order.
Let me...
Have you joined our rewards program? Save time and order online now, and you can earn 10 rewards points for any pizza, no matter where you ordered it from. Just use the mobile app and snap a picture. Join the Points for Pies movement today. Check out all the details at Domino's.com.
Shows how stupid our society is today.
Yes, sir, we accept cash.
You accept cash. Oh, how come? Can I ask you a question? How come you had to ask? You don't know what a Federal Reserve note is? I'm just
sir,
curious.
I was not aware.
You're not aware that
Okay, I'm sorry.
That you don't. Yeah. Well, no, don't be sorry. That's not your name. Your name isn't sorry. But my question was, so you weren't aware of what a Federal Reserve note was. How far did you go along in school, if you don't mind me asking?
I graduated, sir.
You graduated from high school? And
yes, I have, sir.
They didn't teach you? Oh, and they didn't teach you what a Federal Reserve note was? They're all throughout your 12 grades of high school, what a Federal Reserve note was?
Nah, sir, they didn't.
Wow. Well, I guess now we know what's wrong with our society. One of the things that's wrong, right? But you accept Federal Reserve notes. That was my main question. So, all right. Well, I thank you. I'll come in and order a pizza from you. All right.
All right.
All right. Take care, sir.
All right. You too.
All right. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Well, and these are the people that are voting. These are the same people that are running around telling you you can't be armed. The Second Amendment, and we need to ban guns. These are people that are in your society today. They don't even know what a Federal Reserve note is. They don't get. He just told you right here live. No, they never taught us that. They never taught us that in my 12 years of school. Oh, my Lord. All right, let's take some callers here. Oh, boy. Oh. All right, next caller, 978. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
Gibson.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you think that's a good style at winning people over? Call them dumb, retarded. That's first.
Yes, and I do think it's a good way. Actually, I'd like to do it other ways, but they'd SWAT team my house. I do think that's a good way because you know what? There's no first place winners here. There's no second place winners. Not everybody's a winner. You're either a winner or a loser. And so I don't believe in your secular views if that's what you're trying to get at. Okay? The point of it is that I was trying to make sure we live in a dumbed-down, morally bankrupt society. Simple as that.
All right.
They don't even know what a Federal Reserve. They're serving food at a restaurant in my community, and they don't even know what a Federal Reserve note is. For God's sake, what kind of pizzas are they making? It just goes to show you. What are they putting in the? Do they know what sauce is? Do they know how to make bread? This is the society that we live in, sir. They don't know what a Federal Reserve note is.
All right. Shut up for a second. No, I'm
not going to shut up for a second. Make your point.
See, that style is no good at winning people over. And another,
I'm not trying to win nobody over, sir. I'm not trying to win nobody over. Okay, I'm not trying. So stop putting words in my mouth. I'm not trying to win nobody over. I'm not trying to make anybody happy.
You're not.
Okay?
You're not with your surveys. Do you not understand the disinformation, the misinformation campaign that's been waged on people? Of course people don't know what the fuck's going on. Of course they don't. They've been lied to since they were born. You fucking idiot. Have some fucking compassion. These are fellow human beings.
Compassion? I need to have some compassion? Does the Federal Reserve have compassion on you?
Been lied to
I need to have compassion. Sir,
fucking faggot.
Here you go, resorting to name calling. You must be a liberal retard. You must be a libertard. You must be a libertard, right? You must be.
Actually, you know what? Divide myself along stupid lines.
Well, I'm an asshole and you're a whole ass. Yeah, I know you are, but what am I? You sound like a fifth grader in a schoolyard, sir.
Gibson.
Yeah,
you didn't know what.
You know what? You were when I was in fifth grade. You were one of the kids I bitch slapped on the monkey bars. Okay.
5 years ago, you didn't even know what the Federal
person you were.
5 years ago, you didn't know what it was.
Whatever.
You
can't have an intelligent conversation because you're offended. I'm not trying to win anybody over. I'm here to try to educate people. And if you don't want to listen, I gave you an opportunity to call in. Yeah, I gave you an opportunity to call in, and all you did was use foul language and try to insult me. Do you have anything intelligent to bring to the platform, sir? Do you have anything intelligent to bring?
Stop.
There you go. Yeah, foul language. You're a blog talk radio troll because you call into other shows, because I hear you call into other shows and I recognize your voice. And you've called into this show before. You're just a bottom dweller. You're a scumbag. You're probably sitting in your parents' basement in your brief, dirty, shit-stained underwear, okay, eating a bag of Lay's potato chips, scrolling around looking at naked pictures on the internet. Wake up, you loser. Wake up, you loser. Because that's what you are. Yeah, you're a loser, sir. You're a loser. That's what you are. You're a loser. You're a bottom dweller loser. You dirtbag. You're a bottom dweller loser. That's what you are.
Delacoon, you fucking.
Go sit in your basement. Hey, listen, sir. Do me a favor. Sit in your parents' basement in the dark and look at naked pictures on the internet and enter your prepaid debit card information and get taken advantage of to look at a pretty girl. Okay? Yeah. You're a bottom dweller. You're a bottom dweller. That's what you are. You are the reason why this country is being torn apart and being destroyed. You're a bottom dweller, you scumbag.
Just let Mandela
you scumbag. Watch this, sir. You want to see how much control I have over you? You're muted. Goodbye. You bottom dweller, you idiot. You're a troll. Like I said, what you are, sir, is an abortion that lived. That's what you are. You're a bottom dweller. You're a scumbag, you trolls. You have nothing to offer to the conversation whatsoever. I was simply exposing the fact of the ignorance of our society that they don't even know what a Federal Reserve note is. And then you call in with your foul language and start calling me a faggot and all this and blah, blah, blah. You, sir, are a bottom dweller. Like I said, go back to your dingy little messed up bedroom in your parents' basement at the age of 38 years old, probably older, okay? Because you have nothing to do in your life except whack off at dirty pictures on the internet. That's what you use the internet for instead of educating yourself. You are a bottom dweller. You're a scumbag. Now, if you have something you would like to have a conversation with me about, I'll bring you back on the phone line. But once you come out of your mouth sideways, I will hang up on you. So I'm going to give you one more chance before I move on to other callers. Do you want to have an intellectual conversation and talk about something that is educated that will help other people out there who may listen to this podcast? Do you want to do that, sir? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to resort to name calling? Because I could do that, because I think I got the best of you there on the name calling. But like I said, if you want to have a conversation, we can do that. So what I'll do is I'll be quiet, and I'll give you 30 seconds to talk like a man. Or is it ma'am? I don't know. Or talk like a person. I don't want to offend you because I don't know if you're half man, half dog, whatever. I don't want to offend because you can identify yourself whatever way you want nowadays because you may get offended if I identify you another way. But I really don't care. But I'm going to give you one chance here to bring some knowledge to the listeners here tonight other than calling me the host names. Okay? I'm going to unmute you. All right? Go ahead.
All right, you're right. I should keep my quote better. No. The CIA has been waging warfare upon the population of the United States. They've lying to us nonstop. They don't explain what is in the 12 the public school that you go through. I mean, people have been lied to. People had the wool pulled over their. I haven't been awake. Constantly.
Your phone's breaking up, sir. Your phone's breaking up, sir.
Is it? Well, hold on a second. Let me go. That's but can you hear me now? What did you miss there? What did you miss?
I missed pretty much everything, so I'm going to give you another minute here to go ahead and bring your point across. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically what I was saying is the CIA has been conducting this huge disinformation campaign on the American populace. And they don't teach people about the Federal Reserve or all they do is lie to people their first 12 years of school. And it's just that, I haven't been awake forever, but I'm always learning about new things that we've been lied to about and all this type of stuff. And it's a process, and we want to bring people to see the light. We want people to know what's going on, the truth. That's what it's all about. And, people have been deeply deceived. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on. And, we got to be nice to – these are our fellow people, you know what I mean? And they know not what they do. You know what I mean? They know not what they do. And it's sad. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You got to have a little bit of compassion. I know it's hard. I like to call people stupid and everything, but I don't have the best delivery. But you got to have a good way of bringing up these topics, and that's something I'm always trying to figure out how to do. How could I bring this type of stuff up? How could I do it in a nice, calm, collected manner that'll make people like, oh, you know what, maybe there is something to that. You know what I mean? That's all I want to say.
All right. Well, I gave you a chance to speak uninterrupted like I promised. I kept my promise, didn't I?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave you on the line. I got some other callers here we're going to get to, so it's an adventure here. Yes, you're absolutely right. The delivery of the message is very important. You're absolutely correct. I do agree with you there. The delivery of the message is very important. However, a lot of people have different perceptions of the message that you deliver. So, therefore, everyone's going to take it the wrong way sometimes. So you're never going to make everyone happy all the time. But if someone can learn something from this podcast show or be woken up, like you just brought an interesting point there after we had our little exchange there in the beginning, I agree with you. The Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, has been pumping this country filled with cocaine and heroin and opioids for years, and psychotropic drugs that have made our children today dumbed down and stupid, and our educational system is dumbed down stupid. However, there's a point in life where you have a chance to wake up. Hopefully it's tonight on this podcast, and that's the message that I'm only trying to bring. So we'll see what happens when the next caller comes on. We'll see if we have another exchange here. Next, private caller. Go ahead, private caller.
Good evening, Josph Gibson. Joseph, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine,
Joseph,
sir.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
you.
I can hear you.
Okay, very well. The delivery of the message, I agree, is very important. A message is a discrete unit of communication intended by the source for consumption by some recipient or group of recipients. But to the black man's point that called earlier, I agree. I'm glad he calmed down. When you called the young lady at the pizza establishment. She was not aware of what a federal note was, but, the gentleman that came afterwards, he was aware. Now, I agree with you that society is ignorant to a point, but the man after her did know. And that goes to show you that men are, I don't want to say superior in intelligence, but the Bible says that the man should be the provider and the woman should be the homemaker, if that makes sense. So, to my point...
I agree with you. And the Bible also says in the end times, women will rule over their men. So, we got to read into that a little bit more. In the end times, women will rule over their men, and we see that today happening. If you tell a woman today she's having a bad hair day, you could be arrested for domestic assault. And that's not being sarcastic either. And that's just the way it is. And I'm sure maybe some women will call in. That's fine. But the fact that you are bringing up an interesting point, and this country was founded on the Bible and the Constitution, which was modeled after the Bible. And a lot of people don't get that, and they reject that. And we've been rejecting God's word for a long time now, ever since we removed prayer from schools, and that's why our society is so crazy and morally bankrupted. And that's why you see kids today running up schools, shooting up schools, I mean, tell me something, sir. When you were a kid, I don't know how old you are, but when I was a kid, I was living in New Hampshire. Kids at the age of 16, when they got their driver's license, they were driving in their pickup trucks with shotguns on their gun racks in the back of their trucks. Today if you did that, you'd be arrested, SWAT team, then you'd be all over the 6 o'clock news. But because why? Why did kids back then be able to do that? Because kids back then were a little more educated, and it goes to education. It doesn't go where we need to restrict the Second Amendment and take away everyone's guns and restrain the Constitution. If we obey the Constitution, follow the Constitution, educate people on the Constitution, educate our children today. You heard the gentleman on the phone. No, I was never taught in school about the Federal Reserve or anything like that. Well, guess what? In 1987, when I was in high school, we did have a civics class, and they did teach us about the Federal Reserve and the banking system. They don't teach kids like that today about that stuff, and that's the thing. And that's another good point I wanted to bring up is that here in North Carolina, they're tearing down Confederate statues, calling them racist. They need to erase our history. If you erase our history, and if you don't understand history, you can't live today. And if you can't live today, then there's no way you could plan for tomorrow. And it's simple as that, and they're erasing our true history. Our history has been distorted. Just like I talked about this many times. Not to cut you off, I'm going to let you talk more. But the Civil War was not fought over slavery. Simple as that. It started in 1861. Look at the congressional record. When the Congress walked out, it was the 37th Congress. They walked out. They abandoned their seats of Congress. The South did not want to be incorporated to the North. And we can get into a whole history lesson on that. But the fact of the matter is, we hear today, the Confederate flag stands for racism. The South, they wanted slavery, and the North didn't. For God's sake, if you look at history and you understand history, the North, the more Northerners owned more slaves than quadruple of what the South owned. So it was not fought over slavery, and because racism is a big subject today. Everyone, you're a racist. You're a racist. That's the first thing people say. The governor of Virginia did the moonwalk in 1983. He's a racist. Come on, man. When I was going to high school in the 1980s, a lot of people dressed up like Michael Jackson. And the moonwalk was funny, and a lot of people did it. That's racist today? Come on. That's how sick and dumbed down our society is. They don't understand history. They don't get it. But go ahead. I want to give you a couple more minutes to talk before I take on some more callers. Go ahead.
Well, sir, I was going to answer your first two questions, but you pivoted from the your original question went into a tangent and started talking about New Hampshire and South and North Carolina. But if I won't be able to answer your question because I really don't know what your question is on this platform live, but I will finish my comment if I may.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. It's just very important that we realize what a Federal Reserve note is today, because the times in which we live in today, and this is what we've been trying to explain on the platform. You said that a woman might call later to defend liberals or women. It's not even going to be a woman. I guarantee you're going to get a call from one of your regular callers named Mandela Khan, and he's going to talk about the Ethiopian matriarch and how we should. Well, you just said it yourself, that a woman is going to take over, but that's neither here nor there, sir. I do want to point out the fact that when I was a younger man, and I was growing up, I've changed my ways. I've educated myself. I went back to school. I've made something of myself. But before that, I was, I did something that I'm very, very ashamed of. Okay, I was a representative of women prostitutes, and they did not know what a Federal Reserve note was. And her name was Bridget Pruitt. She was the biggest, skankiest hoe that I had working for me.
All right. Here we go. Now, why do you got? You're having an interesting conversation. You got to act stupid. Come on now. I'm going to mute you. You got to act stupid. You must be following me on Facebook or something. Oh boy. And this is what now you deceived me into agreeing with you, and this, and then the truth came out. The devil's children are insane. Why do you got to be something stupid? You must be following me on Facebook and knowing who my friends are, or on Twitter, like a lot of these other trolls that are doing. And we've tracked some of you down. Johnny Longfeather, a couple others. We've tracked you down, and we know who you are. And, and you follow around Blog Talk radio show hosts, and you call in. And Tony Gaga, I'm sure, is going to be doing a show here tonight. He gets all the whack jobs, and even people pretending to be me. And I wanted to address that also, because Tony Gaga's show, I support Tony Gaga. It's an entertainment show. The guy's funny. I like his show, and he lets me come on every time I call in. So, for the record, I support Tony Gaga's show. But people log into his chat room pretending to be me and acting stupid. So, that's not me. And maybe I'll call in later if it's not too late when he does his show to address the trolls on his platform. But before I take any more callers, the phone number is 657-383-0616. Press the number 1. I'll get you on. But real quick, before we get to touch base on the beginning of the show, if you missed it, we called a couple pizza places in the Greensboro area. I do have another number here to call if you want me to. People don't even know what a Federal Reserve note is. But to get to true history here, everyone knows who President Woodrow Wilson is, right? Correct? And this is what President Woodrow Wilson did say in his farewell address. After signing the Federal Reserve Act, and I've got a copy of the newspaper article here, front page, President's signature enacts currency law. Wilson declares it the first of series of constructive acts to aid businesses. But after he signed the Federal Reserve Act, he did say this before in his farewell address, just so you know. And they don't teach this in history class anymore, probably either, but they should. This is an exact quote. I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit. Our system of credit is concentrated. The growth of the nation, therefore, and all activities are in the hands of a few men. We have come to be one of the worst ruled, one of the most completely controlled and dominated governments in the civilized world, no longer. A government by free opinion, no longer a government by conviction. And the vote of the majority. but a government by the opinion and duress of a small group of dominant men. That's what he said. And that was one of the quotes of his farewell address. President Woodrow Wilson. I have a copy of the article right here, actually. Use the internet to look this stuff up. Educate yourself. I have the actual. If you go to the newspaper clipping of the USA, December 24th, 1913, it says Woodrow Wilson signs creation of the Federal Reserve. And the following is a quote of a de facto President Wilson after signing the Federal Reserve Act into law, and as cited also cited by the moneymasters.org. Look up the moneymasters.org, a well-known organization for its nonfiction historical video documentary that traces the origins of the political power structure that rules our nation and the world today. And you're ruled by the Federal Reserve. But now what did I just say? I'm not going to repeat it. But what did I just say that rules the world today? And I read that quote to you. And I called an individual at a pizza place in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they didn't even know what a Federal Reserve note was. What a shame. What a shame. Okay, let's take some more callers here. Let's go down the line here. Call screen's getting a little full here, so I'm going to take some more callers before I put someone else here on the spot live. Move down the line here. Let's see. Area code, let's see. I got 954 and then 289 and then a couple private callers that have been waiting. 289, go ahead. Area code 289. You're unmuted.
Hello.
Oh, boy.
Joe.
Yes, my son. Yes, my son. What's on your mind tonight, sir?
My son.
Yeah, my
How
son. I
are
knew that was
you?
coming.
My son.
I'm doing fine. Yeah, my son. Go ahead. What's on your mind tonight? Please don't say hello again. It might take up the rest of the show. Go ahead.
I would like to order a pizza as well.
You would? Would you?
Yes.
Well, if I connected you to Domino's Pizza, would you order a pizza?
I would say hello to them.
Yeah, and they'd hang up because they'd be closed by the time you got done saying hello. But what's on your mind? Come on, tell me what's on your real mind here. Can I get some information out of you? What's on your mind? What are you thinking about tonight by calling into my podcast? What's on your mind?
I am thinking about many, many, many wonderful, exciting things. But right now, I wanted to ask you, how does it feel knowing that Kenny is special and a homosexual, and you did not believe
Well,
me?
first of all, knowing and feeling are two different acronyms. So knowing and feeling, I don't understand what you mean. I can't feel and knowing and feeling, I don't know. Who do you want me to call? Someone just sent me a message. Call him. I don't know what that means. Call who? But knowing and feeling, I don't know what you mean. If he's a homosexual, then hey, good for him. Good for him. I've already expressed that, I think, many times. First Amendment lawyer. Somebody wants me to call First Amendment lawyer, I guess. I don't know. I'm writing down the number. But go ahead, finish up your comments, sir, because I got a couple other numbers here I got to call, and then I got to take some more callers.
Well,
but hey, you going to be on Tony Gaga's show here tonight? Are you going to? Is he having a show tonight, by the way?
I am sure he's having a show, but what I am calling for is for you to apologize to me because you called me a liar when I pointed out that Kenny was a homosexual, and you called me a liar.
I don't know. If Kenny's a homosexual, I don't know. He can call in. If he is a homosexual and I said that you said that he said that he wasn't, then I apologize. If that means that much to you, then I apologize. How's that sound?
Well, son, I accept your confession.
All right. Well, I only confess. Yeah, all right, my confession. That's fine. Okay. All right. You accept my confession. All right. Let's take another caller. Let's see. 617, I think. Oh no, wait. I got 954. Sorry. And then I got a couple private callers. Go ahead. 954.
Hey Gibson, I got a few things to pick with you.
Okay.
So first of all, the whole Confederate monument stuff. Those are monuments to losers and war criminals. The
and
whole
how are they war
Civil
criminals?
War was fought just to preserve slavery. Preserve and proliferate slavery.
It was. Can you prove that?
Yeah.
Can you show me some historical documentation that the whole Civil War was fought over slavery?
Yeah.
Or refer me to something that proves
Yeah.
it? Proves that the whole Civil War was
Yeah,
fought
look
over slavery?
on the internet. All the cases that the South brought up with the North. For instance, Mississippi plantations. They were against New York, Massachusetts, Maine, because they passed laws that prevented slavers from bringing their slaves into their states. And they didn't think that was a state right.
That's not true.
Yes,
that's not
yes.
true, sir. No,
Yes.
Are you all right?
Look it up. New York
what year
didn't allow
was the 37th?
slavers
All right,
to bring in
let's
slaves
get
to their
into
states.
history. Let's get into a historical conversation here. What year? The 37th Congress. What year was that? Do you know?
Do I have to know?
No.
You
I'm
don't
asking,
seem to know
you're
laws
asking
passed
a
in the
question
North.
with a question, sir. I'm asking you. The
You didn't
37th
seem to know that
Congress. What year was
Mississippi
that?
brought up that it didn't like
No,
the state
sir.
rights
No,
in New York
sir. No, sir.
when they
This is how
prevented
a liberal
Mississippians
argues.
from bringing slaves into their
No,
state.
sir. No, sir. I'm asking you, what year was the 37th
You don't
Congress?
like the
That was
idea that
1861.
200,000 slaves were freed. The United States was saved because they didn't allow slavery that the South wanted to proliferate.
The United States was slave. So
4 million
can
men,
you
women, and
explain
children.
the Reconstruction Acts of 1871? Do you know about that by any chance?
So you're basically going to spin around the argument, right?
No, I'm not spinning it around, sir. I'm going back in history and time. If you'd like, sir, when I take the next caller, I could look up the congressional record of 1861, where the Southern congressman from Mississippi, you pointed out Mississippi, the congressmen there, were arguing with congressmen from the North, New York, Massachusetts, and whatnot, and Pennsylvania, when they were arguing with them, and slavery was never mentioned at all. They were arguing about the tariffs put on the South's cotton, and the South being incorporated to the Northern banks. That's what they were arguing about. That's why the 37th Congress walked out of Congress, and that's how the Civil War, and that's why the South succeeded from the North, not over slavery. Not over slavery, sir. Quiet, sir, or I'm going to have to hang up on you. Sir, I'm trying to prove true history to you right now. Okay? And all you got to do is you say go to the internet. Well, you got go to the internet and look it up. Be careful of all the spam pop-ups and the advertisements and all that. I'd suggest you use a different search engine than Yahoo or Google, and you'll get to the truth. Or you can go to your local public library and go to the 1800s historical section and read all the U.S. history books like I have, and then you will understand true U.S. history. The Civil War was not. Now, as far as your comment about the monuments are a symbol of hate, well, if you hate those monuments, then I guess they are. But they're not. They were not presented as a symbol of hate. They were as a memorial to the Confederate soldiers that fought in the South. Now, look, if my great-great-great-great-grandfather fought in the Confederacy and he was honored in North Carolina and a statue was built for him, who are you to say he was a hateful person and that statue should be torn down? Who are you? If you're offended by it, walk away. Don't visit that park. Don't visit that courthouse. Don't walk down, maybe, are we going to tear down all our history and not remember our history? Is that what you're suggesting? And then dilute our history? So your argument, again, the original argument that you're bringing up here is that the Civil War was fought over slavery. It was not. Slavery became an issue at the latter half of the Civil War, and actually most Northern soldiers actually took a poll amongst themselves. If you go back in the historical archives, I don't have the documents in front of me. Most of the Northern soldiers didn't want to fight anymore because they hated Lincoln because over the slavery issue. Lincoln used that as a strategic maneuver to have the blacks fight for the North and say they were going to be freed after the Civil War. And actually they were, but technically they were not, because obviously we know they were not technically freed until the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. So, it's just a very difficult subject to get into, but it's a topic that we can do a show on if you want. And I can bring you historical documents and read to you congressional records from 1861 all the way up to the Civil Rights Movement and talk about where this issue was talked about. No, the Civil War was not fought over slavery. It was not. And the Confederacy
so you're going to tell me that Alexander Stevens,
stand for racism.
From Georgia, the Vice President of the Confederacy, he didn't say these exact words. Our new government was founded on slavery. Its foundations were laid in the cornerstones and rest upon the great truth that the Negro is not equal to the white man, that slavery, submission, and the superior race is his natural and normal condition. You're going to tell me he didn't say that at all.
Shall I read you the governor of Massachusetts and what he thought about slavery during in 1864? Where he actually supported the issue of slavery after the war? Or shall I read to you Abraham Lincoln's exact quotes, how he wanted to ship all the slaves back after winning the war? I can pull those documents. So what you're doing right now is you're taking one individual from Georgia who obviously must have been a racist and hated blacks, which most people in the United States or at that time did hate blacks and believed in segregation. Even well after the Civil War, blacks were segregated and tortured and beaten. I mean, so this isn't the issue, sir. We're talking about a higher up power called the Federal Reserve and the central bankers. That's been a power struggle for many years, and then the creation of the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. There's a whole other issue here. We're all slaves, white and black, and the Federal Reserve banking cartel enjoys that. And they love when we argue with each other. This was fought over this. We need to tear down that. They love us fighting with each other. Okay? So I understand your point. I understand it's an emotional point, where you're coming from, but let's examine true history. Many blacks actually fought for the Confederacy, believe it or not. Do you know that?
They did have an option.
Like I said, you have to do your research.
They were forced to fight.
No, they were not. You can't. No, that's
they
not
were
true.
conscripted.
Sir. That's not true at all.
The same way that the colonial
true.
troops from France, once it was taken over by the Germans during World War II, they were forced to fight for Germany. The same with the Middle Eastern troops from Algiers. They were forced to fight for the Germans and for the Italians. Because what option did they have?
That's what option?
They were either prisoners of war or they fought for their liberty.
You just answered your own comment. What option did they have? And
exactly.
And the blacks
they were
did
forced
not
to fight for the South.
The North
had they been given the option, they wouldn't have fought for the South.
And if they were given the option in the North, they wouldn't have fought for the North either. So
I'm pretty sure they would have fought for the North because they were being offered their liberty.
And they were offered their liberty in 1776
if any slave went to the North,
they
they
never
would have to be brought back to the South against their will, even though the North was willing to give them their freedom.
Sir, you bring up interesting topics, okay? And I didn't know I was going to get into a debate here tonight. And I could pull out my notes and my research. Like I said, we could do it. I'll tell you what, the next show I do, I will title it North versus South, was slavery actually the issue of the Civil War? That will be my next show. And I'll pull out my notes and do my research and prove you wrong. And you're more than welcome. And you can pull up your notes from Google or Yahoo or Amazon or whatever. And, I don't know who that is in the background. You're distracting. With your hellos. I think that's 289. So let me mute you. You keep saying hello over and over. Look, like I said, it was not fought over slavery, the Civil War. Simple as that. Okay, and it's hard pressed to find true information. This is something you have to go and really and deeply research the documents, and it's just like the Federalist Papers and the Constitution. If you know your history, you can understand what's happening today, and when you understand what's happening today, you can plan for tomorrow. It's simple as that. But hey, that's interesting. What you called in, you made some fascinating points. I'll do some more research on it. I'll pull up my notes, and I would love to have a discussion with you on the next show about this, if you are willing to keep your commitment. And we could do a show tomorrow evening, if you want to, or Tuesday evening. I'll tell you what, Tuesday evening I'll do a show. North versus South. Was the Civil War fought over slavery? That would be a great show to do. That really would. But do you have anything else you want to add before I get to another caller?
I'll say I agree to disagree, and I'll wait until the next show.
Okay.
I'll see you next show.
All right. Hey, listen, sir. You know what? It's callers like you that actually bring up very interesting talking points, and you're well spoken, and I like that. That's what we need on this podcast show. Not idiots with foul language and calling each other names. I will agree to disagree with you also right now. Okay? I will do that. But let's see what maybe someone else wants to have an exchange with you or me. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to mute yourself or not. I don't hang up on people unless they are rude or interrupt. So 617, go ahead.
You're a dumb cunt.
There we go. You see, that's
You're
what we need
cunt.
here.
You're a dumb cunt.
Thank
You're
you.
A dumb.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a dumb cunt.
Thank you. Do you have anything else? Is that all? Is as big as your vocabulary can get here tonight, live on a podcast? Or do you have any other names you want to call me? No, there we go. He's muted. Okay. Oh boy. All right, private caller. Next private caller. Let's see here. I'm glad I'm so popular where people think of these huge names to call me. Next caller. Go ahead. You're unmuted, private caller.
Nigger.
Well, there you are. All right. Why you want to call in and say something stupid? Can't you use this platform to talk about something that's important? I mean, come on, man. Is that how stupid you are? Are you one of those individuals sitting in their basement in their underwear?
I'll just let you know, Bridget Pruitt was being spoiled by Black Seed.
Okay, all right, here we go. Yeah, you must be looking at my Facebook page. You're muted. Next caller.
Well, I don't feel very godly right now.
You said that already. All right, that could be a pre-recorded message. You got to remember, these people are very clever. They take a lot of time to twist people's words around and make them say things that are not true. Next caller, go ahead. You've been waiting 30 minutes. Go ahead. 30 minutes? Boy, I hope you have something important to say.
You just muted me a few seconds ago because I talked about shit about your Bridget Pruitt.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just going down the call screen. Okay, all right. Well, all right, let's see. I did have another number here to call, and I'll reopen up the phone lines for all the new hijackers that want to come on and hijack the show. I started out the podcast here tonight about the Federal Reserve banking cartel that owns all of us. Black, white, Chinese, yellow, brown, queer, whatnot, whatever you want to be. But the fact of the matter is we have a society here today that does not understand what a Federal Reserve note is. So I'm going to call the same pizza chain, but it's a different. We'll get a different voice, I'm sure. Let's call and ask them what a Federal Reserve note is. All right, here we go.
Thank you for choosing Domino's on New Garden. This is Alvin. What can I do for you?
Yes, this is Domino's on New Garden. Your name is Adam?
Alan. Yes.
Alan. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just
fine.
wondering, do you accept Federal Reserve notes there?
No, we do not.
Okay. Well, you're very clear on that because you said we do not. So how do I pay for my pizza if I wanted to order a pizza?
You can pay through it on the phone, or you can pay for it when you get here if you want to do carry out.
No. I didn't ask how I could pay for it. What do I pay with, maybe, to be more clear? What do I pay with?
Cash or card, sir?
Cash or card. But you just told me you don't accept Federal Reserve notes, so how do I pay with cash?
You said Federal Reserve notes?
Sir? That's what I said, sir. Yes, Alan.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay, yeah. Pay with cash or card, but we don't accept Federal Reserve notes. I want a microchip in your forehead. Would you scan my microchip in my head?
Sir, you still there?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. What are Federal Reserve notes?
Well, they're dollar bills actually. Do you have any money? Do you have any paper money in your pocket?
Yes. Okay. So Federal Reserve. I'm sorry, sir. I must have just not known. Yes, we do accept that.
Oh, so you do accept Federal Reserve notes?
Yes.
Okay. Alan, now let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. Can I tell you something right now? You know what? You're live on a radio show right now.
Okay.
It's called Understanding the Times in Which You Live in Today. And and I'm trying to find out if people understand what money really is, and obviously you don't. So how come you don't know what a Federal Reserve note is? Were you not taught that in school?
I guess, yes, sir. I guess in school they never really told us that cash was Federal Reserve notes until you just told me now, sir.
So you learned something new tonight.
Absolutely, of course.
Well, sir, I thank you for participating and understanding the times in which you live in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me know what that is.
All right, take care.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Well, people don't know what Federal Reserve notes are. If people don't know what a Federal Reserve note is, and they don't understand the Federal Reserve Act, when I say end the Fed, how could they just, I mean, it's confusing. I mean, I don't know. But I've got someone that wants me to call a number here. It could be a scam, but I'm going to oblige them. All right, I'm going to call this number here. Hopefully it's not a scam. We'll see. It's 469, and then we'll take some more callers. Oh, Lord. I thought that was pretty fun, though, calling places, asking them, if they know what a Federal Reserve note is. All right, let's call this number here. It's probably a porn house. Who knows? Not going to get any answer. I know I dialed the number right. And I said call this person, so. Well, I'm not getting nothing. All right, well, I called that number. All right, that's just jamming up my phone line now. Yeah, obviously, it hung up. There we go. A First Amendment lawyer. Well, I tried calling the First Amendment lawyer, sir, in the chat room. I tried. There's the number right there. I tried. Okay, cancel that call. All right, everyone else, let's move down the line here. 210, you've been waiting here. Let's see, 210, go ahead. You want to call me names tonight, or do you have something you want to contribute? Hello, area code 210. Okay. All right. All right, area code 10. All right, you're muted. All right, folks. Well, as you can see through my little skit here tonight, my little show, I did have an interesting conversation with someone about the Civil War. That was very interesting. And I will do a show. North versus South was a Civil War fought over slavery. And I'll do some research on that. I'm writing that down right now. That's going to be an interesting podcast, I think. All right, anyone wants to call in here tonight? I've got a bunch of numbers here, and I'm a little worried here about who I'm going to get a hold of. So, let's see here. All right, I'm going to try some private numbers, and then we'll continue on with the podcast. We got a little bit of time left here. I can always end the show early. I want to call in the Tony Gaga's show tonight. Hopefully it's not too late, because apparently someone tried logging into his chat room pretending to be me. So, well, let's see. Private caller, you've been waiting 8 minutes. Hopefully you got something you want to say. Private caller? Could be the same caller.
Joseph,
I don't know. Yes, go ahead.
Joseph, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I find it, to be honest with you, I find it mature that you're calling different pizza places and talking to 16-year-old high school kids and trying to bully them and making fun of them, ridiculing them because they do not know or are not aware of what a Federal Reserve note is. Sir, do you own your own home, or do you live in an apartment? Are you renting?
No, I can't. No, sir. Nobody in America owns their own home. Nobody owns their own home in America.
Okay, sir. Well, let me ask you this: are you paying a mortgage?
No, I'm not paying a mortgage. No.
Okay, so you're renting them. Well, let me tell you this. Do you know the difference?
No, sir. We all rent.
No, let me talk.
Even when you pay off the bank. Hang on. When you pay off the bank, sir, you're a renter. It's called a warranty deed you receive. You rent from your county or state, and you pay a tax. You're a renter, or they'll come take it.
This is what you do. When someone is trying to make a point, you interrupt them, and then you babble and babble. Can I make a point, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm babbling. You asked me a question, sir. You cannot own your own home as an American citizen. As a United States corporate citizen, you are not allowed to own property unless you have a land allodial. Okay? Look it up, land allodial.
Okay.
If you have a warranty deed, if you're given a warranty deed after you pay back the bank, I'm trying to answer your question. If you have a warranty deed, which I do have, hang on, sir, which I do have, a warranty deed, it doesn't mean I own the property. I have to pay rent. I have to pay a property tax every year. If I don't pay that property tax, the king and queen will come confiscate it and SWAT team my house. Okay? I have to pay a tax to the Federal Reserve. Nobody's allowed to own any property. You're not allowed to own property as a United States corporate citizen. Now go ahead, sir.
What is the difference between a conventional fixed-rate mortgage or an interest-only mortgage or an adjustable rate mortgage or a VA loan or a combo piggyback or balloon mortgage or jumbo mortgage? Can you tell me the 7 types of mortgages and the difference between them? Can you?
On all 7, I cannot, actually. Maybe someone else can if they want.
Oh, my gosh. What did they teach you in high school?
Because the reason why I'm telling you, sir, is because you cannot get a mortgage.
Live on the platform.
I'm trying to answer your question, sir. You cannot get a mortgage from a bank, sir. You give a mortgage. You give a mortgage, sir, when you go to a bank. You see, you don't understand how the banking, fractional reserve banking works. When you walk into a bank, you give a mortgage. You don't get a mortgage. Once you sign those mortgage documents that you think you're getting, you're giving it back to the bank, and then they deposit that note into their fractional reserve banking system, whether it's Wells Fargo, Bank of America. Can I finish, sir? Can I finish my answer?
Sure. Go ahead and finish your answer that has nothing to do with the questions that I asked. Sure, go ahead. Babble on, sir.
Because you can call it a balloon mortgage. You can call it a donkey mortgage. You can call it man on the moon mortgage. You cannot get a mortgage from a bank. You give a mortgage to a bank.
And you can call it cash. You can call it money. You can call it a Federal Reserve note. Okay, those three things are the same thing, but
No, they're not.
a balloon mortgage and a jumbo mortgage. Okay, cash is not a Federal Reserve note, yet you just explained to the pizza boy that it was. Okay, and now you're telling me they're not. Fine, sir. Make up your mind.
Cash
is it or is it
defined. Yes, the pizza boy. Yes, sir. Sir. You don't listen. You're talking to somebody who studied the Federal Reserve for many years. You don't understand cash. There's no such thing as cash. Do you want to get into scripts and notes? It's a debt-based system. You are the debt. You were bought the day you were born with your bonded birth certificate that was stored at the World Trade Center before they blew it up in 2001. Okay, because look, I know you're going to call me crazy. You're going to call me nuts. Go to your local bank, sir, in the morning, or call your local bank and ask them, when I deposit a check, how many times do you guys recreate it? What is fractional reserve banking? See how fast the bank manager runs up to you and throws you out of that bank, okay? Because there is no such thing as cash. Gold and silver, according to the Constitution, is the only legal, tangible asset you are supposed to be allowed to barter with according to the Constitution.
Sir, okay, did you go to school? Were you educated, sir?
Yes, I got someone who wants to answer your question, sir. I got someone who wants. They just messaged me. They want to answer your question. Maybe they can do it better than I can. Whether I go to school or not is none of your business. All right, 203. Go ahead, 203. You want to answer this gentleman's question? If they'll shut up long enough, go ahead.
No, I don't want to answer his question because most people wouldn't comprehend and they wouldn't even care, and that's why America is in the predicament we're in. Cash, currency, and money, they're totally different things, and people just don't know the difference. And what you're saying about the banks and mortgages is absolutely true, and most people will dismiss you as nuts or crazy for thinking such a thing. The problem is in D.C., the District of Criminals. They have you people so confused, so twisted, that we don't know which end is up.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by you people?
You, exactly. Everyone has been twisted around in circles by these corrupt politicians who line their own pockets.
Here's what's wrong with your kind.
Look at the fact. Hillary and Bill left the White House broke and stole the furniture. Now they're multimillionaires. You know what? They don't tell you how to do it, but they know how to do it.
Let me guess. You
they're
heard
corrupt.
that here first on the platform, right? Is that where you heard this? On the fake news? Is that who told you?
Heard what?
See, that's the problem with you people today. You believe the media, everything you read on the internet. Okay,
no,
George Bush did this.
No, I don't.
Clinton's
I don't
did
believe
this.
the media.
Obama
I turn on
did
Fox
this.
News
Trump
and
is
CNN
doing
to
this.
laugh
You
my ass
believe
off.
it. And no matter who we have in office, you don't like them, you don't agree with them. Well, guess what? They all got voted in the same way through the same process. Yet you don't like anybody. You don't like anybody that's up there. You hate them. They're wrong. They're not good enough. You have a problem against every elected official. That's the problem with you people today. Your kind of people make me sick. You find an excuse for everything. You're like a woman on her period, an old man that just wants to complain, and bitch about everything, okay? Grow a set of balls and get over it, all right? Suck it up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, Buttercup. That's the American way. You made a comment there, all politicians. You're absolutely correct there, but it's not all politicians. It's 98% of them are corrupt and immoral. And lots of them didn't get elected. They were bought in because presidents aren't elected.
Sure they were.
Presidents are not elected. They're selected. Because if they were elected, Hillary would be president.
Okay.
Just
Trump
because our electoral system got him in there doesn't mean it was valid.
So you're saying Trump lost the election?
I didn't say that. Trump's our president. We have to respect him because he is our president.
Well,
what I'm saying is the process is corrupt.
Hillary will be president.
The process is corrupt, and you will never find the answer.
Well, sir, let me ask you this, since we're on this topic, okay? If two cars started from the same point at 5 a.m., traveling in opposite directions at 40 and 50 miles per hour respectively, at what time will they be 450 miles apart?
Well, you know, if you hit a curb at 60 miles an hour, you could flip your car. So how big would the curb have to be if you were going 2 miles an hour?
At 9 a.m., a car began a journey from point traveling at 40 miles per hour. At 10 a.m., another car B started traveling from the same point at 60 miles in the same direction as car A. At what time will car B pass car A?
At the same time that they pass each other.
No, sir.
No, they'll pass each other at a different time then.
Oh, sir. Geez. You know what? You are smarter than Josph Gibson, but that's not saying much.
What can I tell you? You know.
Well, again, back to the Federal Reserve banking cartel. Can you explain mortgages?
Oh, don't try this again. Do not try this again. You are not capable of this, Josph Gibson. You are not capable of this. And this is on a subject that you say that you've studied an enormous amount of time on, and yet you have no clue what you're talking about. You're babbling.
I don't.
You don't have a clue, sir. You do not.
I don't have a clue.
Okay.
Well, sir, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you the biggest clue.
Let me finish. Hey, let me finish. Okay, let me just say one thing, okay? It is better to have people think you're an idiot than to open your mouth and remove all doubt, okay? Sometimes it's better for you just to be quiet, all right? And don't talk anymore, Josph Gibson. Don't talk, okay? Know when you've been...
So you're banning my First Amendment right? You're telling me not to use my First Amendment right on Blog Talk Radio? Don't talk anymore?
You can talk.
That's what
do
you
not
just
talk
said.
About the Federal Reserve. No, you can talk about
Don't talk about
topics,
the Federal
but do
Reserve?
not talk about this one. No, you do not know anything about it. I'm sorry. You shouldn't.
I don't?
Don't do it. No, for Christ's sakes, do not talk about it. It makes you sound dumber.
And that's the problem with the Federal Reserve. Nobody really knows anything about it because they won't let anybody know.
Oh, but Genius here claims he does.
Well, we can figure out bits and snippets. We can all figure out bits and snippets as we go along throughout history. But the bottom line is they don't want you to know what they're doing.
Well, but Josph Gibson wants to call pizza delivery boys and ask them about Federal Reserve notes.
Well, I think that's kind of a good thing because, as you've seen, out of 3 calls, you got a 33% favorable opinion. And you know what? That's better than most presidents.
You just said nobody knows what they mean or what they are. You just said this. You heard it here first, live on the platform.
Well, we often
today.
talk in absolute terms when we don't mean absolute, but that's just a figure of speech.
Live
look, sir,
on the platform.
Look, sir, the act of the de facto Congress created and set up the Federal Reserve. Simple as that. Do you know the difference between de jure and de facto? Do you know you're living and you are a slave to a de facto corporation right now? So you're talking about politicians and President Trump. Trump is the president of a de facto corporation that owns you. That's my point, okay? Trump doesn't control the economy. Trump has nothing to do with the economy. The Federal Reserve controls the economy. If the Federal Reserve raised interest rates to 20% tomorrow, sir, you would go to the grocery store to bare and empty shelves. Because the Federal Reserve, which is a non-government entity controlled and owned by a corporate banking cartel, private stockholders that don't even live in America, they're European, controls the cash and currency that you buy and barter with today, sir.
That is a lie.
No, it's not a lie. No, it's not a lie, sir. No, it's not. No, it's not, sir. I read to you the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, if you were paying attention, okay? I've got the book right in front of me right now, the Federal Reserve Act of 1913.
And that's where you're quoting.
Okay.
The book from 1985, written by fake news media. Okay.
No, sir. No, sir. The book that I'm quoting is Re-Inhabited, Volume 1, America's Truthful History, by Gene Hertler with David Carl Hertler. Okay? That's the book I'm quoting with actual documents. Look, sir, look. You don't understand. You don't understand world religion. You don't understand what's going on. You don't understand the New World Order. You don't get it.
I just
You're
called
too
you
busy
out on it.
trying to call into my podcast and criticize me and call me stupid. If I sat here and read the entire Federal Reserve Act of 1913, you would fall asleep. because you would be too busy taking selfies on Facebook or Twitter, or your cell phone would ring from a robocaller, and you wouldn't be able to get it. Listen, sir, I'm going to tell you something right now. Go to the Money Masters. Go to the moneymasters.org. Watch the 3.5-hour video at least one time. I've watched it 12 times.
No.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Sir,
okay,
the families of the debt by renewing the payment of all corporate United States assets, and for all of the assets of the United States Treasury, to 19. Shut up! Will you shut up? I'm trying to teach you about the Federal Reserve, what I know, what I'm reading right in front of me, actual documents from the Library of Congress. Okay? That's the problem. You dumbasses out there won't shut up long enough. You're too busy with your perverted mouth, your un-God-fearing mouth, because you're a dumbed-down, morally bankrupt society.
My First
Go
Amendment.
vote in 2020.
You are depressing my
Don't
First
think you
Amendment.
can vote, sir.
You are depressing my First Amendment by not letting me talk. First Amendment. You don't believe in the First Amendment, obviously, because you won't let me talk. Yet you defend it so well.
I've let you talk, and all you've done is criticize me and call me stupid.
No. I did not call you stupid. I said, listen to the words.
Sir, let me ask you a question then. This is my show. I'm the moderator, okay? I'm the moderator. Let me ask you a question, sir. Do you know who Justice David Hosea Brewer was? Do you know who that was? No.
Sir, now you are
most likely
dodging the
not.
issue. Now you are dodging the issue.
No, sir. I'm pulling up
pivoting,
congressional records, Senate documents for you to study.
No.
Okay?
Sir.
Yeah, you said that 3 times. Go ahead.
And to answer your question, Bobby Abreu was a best baseball player.
Well, all right. See, now you're talking about baseball players. It has nothing to do with the topic. This is what you people do.
You asked me if I knew
You
who that
people
was.
do.
Sir, you asked me if I knew who that was.
Shall I read the whole book to everybody live? You know what a good documentary for you to read or watch is? A Creature from Jekyll Island. All right, Edward G. Griffith. You know, look, I've studied all these documentaries. I've compared notes. And like I said, the next show we're going to discuss the Civil War, North versus South. Well, what was the Civil War fought over slavery? And I'm going to pull up all my notes that I've studied over the last 20 years, and I'm going to read a lot of them. And a lot of people are going to fall asleep, or their cell phone's going to ring with a robocaller. Your car warranty has been expired. Oh, hello, sir. How you doing? This is DirecTV. All right, and you're going to be distracted. You're not going to pay attention because you're distracted by amusement, drugs, entertainment, and this is what the Federal Reserve, and one of the callers brought this up in the beginning of the podcast, the CIA, they want you distracted. They want you in a naive bubble, okay? And they want you inside that bubble fighting with each other over nonsense. Meanwhile, the money masters and the money changers are running away with all the gold and silver and screwing you over every day because you're worried about Hillary and Trump. You're worried about collusion in Russia. You're watching your fake news. If you weren't watching your fake news, you sure as hell wouldn't know Donald Trump was president. So you must watch the fake news. Okay? So therefore, no, look. Don't tell me I don't know about the Federal Reserve and fractional reserve banking because I've been thrown out of Wells Fargo. I've been thrown out of Bank of America. I've been thrown out of all the FDIC banks because I brought this. Listen, I wrote the Ken Lewis Bank of America years ago, and he said, you know too much about our banking system, so therefore your accounts are closed. I've got the letters and documents. So don't tell me I don't know about the Federal Reserve banking cartel. I called them live on this podcast a month ago, and they told me I'll be dealt with, and I'm still waiting for that. So don't you tell me what I know, okay? I know, and what I do know is this, is that you are trying to call in and attack me and give yourself a voice to make yourself one up on me. Instead, you know what you should be doing? Uniting with me and waking people up and coming together and waking people up about the money changers that control our everyday lives and that are screwing us out of our living. The income tax is unconstitutional, but yet you pay it.
Sir. Are you done?
Go ahead. I'm done. I'm done rambling on. Go ahead.
Okay. You did not answer my question about the difference between a balloon and VA mortgage.
Sir, I did answer your question. You cannot go to a bank and get any type of mortgage. You can't get a mortgage. You go to a bank to give a mortgage. You give it, whether you can call it a balloon mortgage, a VA mortgage, you can call it a dinosaur mortgage.
Sir.
It's phony. It's a lie.
The purpose of any mortgage is to keep you paying for the rest of your life. That's its purpose. The difference between currency and money. Our government prints its own currency. It has no value. If it did have value in 2008, 2009, when they asked Bernanke who he gave trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars to, please tell us, he said no. Bernanke's response for circumventing the 2008 financial crisis was to drive over America in a helicopter and drop $100 bills. That's their cure. Because currency has no value, and that's what you have in your pocket with paper money is currency. It's not money.
That's right, because the only real money the founders put in the Constitution, the only legal tender was gold and silver. And then you got idiots out there that are going to respond and say, what am I supposed to walk around with gold bars in my pocket? Listen, that's what, I'm getting messages right now saying that. Look, you have gold eagles, you got gold coins, gold and silver. You want to know why gold and silver? Well, it weights and measures. The Bible talks about that. Okay? Listen, you don't understand. No, it's not, sir. It's not, sir. Listen to me. You're not paying attention. You're too busy talking.
Sir, let me talk. Sir, let me say something. Sir. So you are telling me that nobody has paid off a mortgage?
No, you can't.
Is that what you're saying to me? Okay.
If you pay off a mortgage on the property, the physical property that you claim to own, you receive. Well, can I finish the answer, or are you going to interrupt me?
Sir.
I'm answering your question.
Sir,
I'm answering your question. Once you pay off a mortgage for any land.
Was it yes or no?
So you're not going to shut up long enough. You won't listen. You won't listen.
Let me talk. Sir, let me talk. Let me ask what I was going to ask. You did not let me finish asking the question.
You just asked a question.
It was a two-part question.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
And I finish.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first one was, stop saying go ahead. Hold on. Let me finish asking my two-part question. My first question was, and you interrupted me, so I'm going to ask it again. Is there anybody out there that has paid off a mortgage? And you said no, but that's fine. Okay, hold on. Don't say anything yet. Please, for the love of God, do not interrupt me. My second part to this question is, do you really think that every bank out there, every banker, every accountant, anyone that deals with money is wrong, and that you two guys are right? I mean, what gives you that impression? Why is the rest of the world that we know today, live on the platform, how do you know they're wrong and you two are right?
Those people don't deal with money. Those people don't deal with money. I just explained it to you. You're not listening. They deal with currency.
Ma'am. Excuse me. Sir. Ma'am.
All right, you're not getting anywhere. You're just rambling on.
Banker? DVD banker? Okay, so what happens to the appropriate price for BP?
I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care what they do on Wall Street with BP or Wells Fargo or Bank of America. All I know is they own you. The Federal Reserve owns you. They bought you the day you were born.
How do you,
Look, the
how
bottom
do you
line,
not
sir,
know
is
and
this.
claim to know about the Federal Reserve?
Sir,
how do
sir,
you not
the bottom
know this
line is
and
this.
claim, sir,
Listen.
How do you,
Listen,
sir,
no, sir, you listen.
You listen,
the
sir.
bottom line
sir, you
is this.
listen to me.
Pick
sir.
up a copy of your
Sir.
birth certificate because you can't get an original, okay? And go to the right-hand corner and go to E-Trade or Fidelity.com or bring those bank routing numbers to your local stock office, and you will see the global corporation trading with you. Simple as that. And that's where it all begins, the day you were born.
Sir, if you knew two things about the Federal Reserve, you would know about the appropriate price for BP. And you don't.
Sir, listen to me. I don't know what BP is doing, and I don't care what Citco is doing, and I don't care what Ameritrade is doing right now. I'm trying to tell you the Federal Reserve controls it all.
Right now?
And if you knew one thing at all, sir, why is the Federal Reserve called Federal when it's no more federal than Federal Express? Why is the Federal Reserve, the name in itself is a deception?
I can answer this.
So start there
I
first.
can answer this. Okay, I can answer this.
Oh, you can?
Okay. Yes, Federal Reserve, okay. It has to do with the enormous amount of people federally that have fucked Bridget Pruitt in the ass.
All right, now
you know
you're
who
acting
Bridget Pruitt
stupid.
is? I had her last
there
night.
You go. Now you're acting
her in the
stupid.
ass.
There you go.
Gives good head, too.
To the extent you people will go through, to the extent that you morally dumbed down people will go through, just to get a little nick in there. Oh, my God. If you put your effort into something positive, we could have something in this country. I'm telling you. But with people like you, we're destined to doom.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? He went through that entire conversation just to say something stupid at the end of the conversation. You know, he spent 20 minutes on my phone line just to say something stupid at the end. And you made a great point. If they would use their effort, all that effort, to stand up for something true and right and righteous, then therefore we may get someplace in this country. I think, really, that kind of proved the entire point of my podcast. Understanding the times in which you live in today. Maybe you stupid sheep out there that I'm trying to wake up deserve your new world order. Maybe you deserve to be put in a FEMA camp. Maybe you need a microchip put in your right hand in your forehead. Maybe you deserve it. Maybe you do. You know, and a lot of people out there, probably the Freemasons out there and the Illuminati are saying, yeah, we're going to get Joe Gibson on our side. Who knows? But I'm going to tell you right now, no wonder why. You bunch of jungle monkey idiot fools. And you go through this great extent. You trolls, Johnny Longfeather, another jerk who went through so much trouble to post a tweet on my Twitter page. Like a jackass, along with probably about 800 or 900 other idiots that I've never seen before. But I recognize Johnny Longfeather from Tony Gaga's show. You know, this is the trouble you people go through to say something stupid. That's why we had shows like American Idol, Dancing with the Stars. Hey, I want to be famous for 10 minutes. I'll do anything. That's why we got idiots running into
Maxwell
school.
said it. Because your buddy George Maxwell there said it. He says we have all this infotainment to keep these idiots at bay, and that's exactly what we have here. We have a morally dumbed down society who just doesn't know any better, and they will never know any better because they think by getting on here and using all their time for a little pun in the end, or to look at porn on the internet, or to drink a couple of beers at night, that's life, and they will do anything for it when little do they know that there's so much more out there.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And before I call Bernie Sanders' campaign here, let's play that clip from Jordan Maxwell. Maybe some of you will wake up. So let's take 2 minutes here, just 2 minutes, And then I got someone who wants me to call the Bernie Sanders campaign, and maybe we'll do that there. Well, let's play Jordan Maxwell for my buddy here. Let's play him. Go ahead.
I think at one time or another we've all questioned as to whether all that we see and are experiencing in our world has some sort of a rational plan behind it, because we understand now that both the Republican and the Democratic Party in our country are basically run by the same people. The same money finances both sides.
Federal Reserve.
We now know, of course, through the work of many historians who have spent their life working on research to show us that both sides of world conflicts have always been financed by the same people. And as I've said before, there seems to be a method to the madness going on in the world. We know, of course, that we cannot depend on our leaders. Our leaders are misleaders. There is a science that they're following. They have their own agenda, and it doesn't include you. What your government pays for, it gets. If you are paid to do something for the government, they will extract from you exactly what they have paid for. When we understand that, then we look at universities and schools, government-financed institutions of education, and see the kind of students and the kind of education that's being turned out by these government-financed schools. Logic will tell you that if what is being turned out in those schools was not in accord with what the state and the federal government wanted, then it would change it. The bottom line is that the government is getting what they have ordered. They're getting what they have paid for. They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment that keep the human mind entertained, so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it. And all American citizens, I think, have suspected something like this is going on. But we're all too busy trying to stay alive and live our lives. And after all, what can one person do about it? This is the most powerful government the world has ever known.
That's right, folks. That's right. All right, got a couple numbers here to call before we wrap up tonight's program, and then I'll take a couple more callers. We got time here. Let's see. Someone wanted me to call the Bernie Sanders campaign Wacky Bernie. Wacky Bernie. Well, it could be a crank call. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, this is just a number someone provided for me, and they said this was the Bernie Sanders campaign. So maybe we could talk to somebody from the Wacky Bernie campaign. It's Sunday evening. I doubt it, but we'll try it anyway. And then I'll try. Someone said, "Why you call them pizza places?" So man, we'll call another place. We'll and ask about Federal Reserve notes. Well, that's what we'll do. All right, but hang on. Let's see what we get here with this number. If it's a voicemail, then we'll see what happens. We're not getting anybody from the Bernie
The
Sanders
subscriber
campaign.
you have dialed is not in service.
All right. That was probably a crank call, so we'll go ahead and cancel that call out. And then we don't have to call pizza places, everybody. Let's call another restaurant. Let's call somebody else and ask them about federal. We don't have to call Pete, a child, a 16-year-old kid who's going to be able to vote, according to Bernie Sanders. You know, that's going to write policy for the dumbed-down American public. Let's try here. Let's try another place. All right, here we go. There's a number here. This is one of my friendly restaurants in my neighborhood. Let's see here. Hang on. Oh, Hang on, I dialed it wrong. Number invalid. Sorry, hang on. 336. Let's try 342. I don't want to give out the whole number here because I don't want people calling them saying Joe Gibson called them. So, all right, here we go. Here we go. Having trouble connecting here.
Taco Bell?
Yes, how you doing tonight? I was just wondering, do you guys accept Federal Reserve notes there if I come in to eat?
I'm sorry, you said do we accept what now?
Do you accept Federal Reserve notes?
One second.
Probably Googling it on her dumb phone right now. 1 second. We got somebody on the phone with a difficult question.
The next generation will know.
Well, see, we didn't call. They got me on hold. At least they're not playing Amazon music. I won't stay on hold too long. I'll call them back if I have to. Hang on, someone's sending me another number here. See, I didn't call Pizza Place. I called Taco Bell.
I got an email from Amazon.
Right now.
I got an email from Amazon. They finally realized that they don't know what they're doing.
We already know that. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, they just figured it out. They've consulted a third party now.
All right, let me hang up on Taco Bell. They're confused. Right now they're all talking to each other, probably in a corner. What's a Federal Reserve note? I don't know. What is there a manager here? Should we call the corporate office? What do we do? What? This guy's asking a confusing question. What's a Federal Reserve note? It says it right on your freaking dollar bill, your $20 bill, your $100 bill.
Should ask them if they accept pesos.
Yeah, pesos. Do you accept pesos? Yeah, there you go. You know, my name's Paco Rivera. Do you accept pesos? They still got me on hold. Let's hang up on them. I'll approach this a different. I'll approach this a different way. All right, hang on here. Let's try one more time. Let's call them back here. All right.
Talk about reason.
Yes, how you doing? I was just calling
a
minute ago.
Yes.
I'm doing good. This is Taco Bell, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, do you guys accept Federal Reserve notes?
As far as I know, I don't think so. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, okay. So how do I pay for it? So if I want to come in and get takeout or buy my food, how do I pay? What do I pay with?
You can either pay by card or you can either pay by cash.
Cash. Well, but you just told me you don't accept Federal Reserve notes. Cash is Federal Reserve notes, right?
I'm terribly sorry. I might be not understanding what you were referring to.
Oh, okay. Hey, partner, I just want to let you know I'm calling in live from a radio podcast show, Understanding the Times in Which You're Living Today, and I'm just trying to see if people out there understood what a Federal Reserve note was.
Oh, wow.
This isn't a crank call.
Oh, wow.
So you're live on Understanding the Times in Which You Live in worldwide, so I appreciate your time here.
Wow.
I really do.
Wow. Thank you.
All right. What's your name, sir? He hung up. Wow. He said, let me Google that on my dumb phone. I'm going to vote for Bernie, vote for Trump. I hate Trump. He's a racist. Wow, ding dong. Hang on, my vaccinations are kicking in. Ding dong, ding dong. Oh, my Lord. Well, see, I didn't just call a pizza place for the other caller that I called in. You know, I don't think that sounded like a 16-year-old kid I was picking on. And I wasn't picking on him. I was upfront and honest with him. I told him he was live on a podcast and told him why I was calling in. And then he said, wow, E-G, wow, ding, OMG. And he's probably Facebooking everybody right now. I think I was on a radio show tonight. Oh, like, dislike, ooh. Yeah, everyone, you know, it just shows how dumbed down our society really is. If someone called me and said you accept Federal Reserve notes, you know, I would understand what they were talking about. So does that make me smarter than the next individual? No, but does it make me more educated about our world today? Yes, it does. And I think a lot of the people on the phone line here tonight understood what I was trying to do. A lot of people do. One more number here to call for Bernie Sanders, and then I'll take some more callers, and then we'll wrap up the program. So well, let's see here. You know, I don't know. These people are sending me numbers to call. I'm only doing it because I've exhausted my platform here and what I wanted to do here. And the next show is North versus the South. Was the Civil War fought over slavery? And hopefully we can get some Confederate. If you remember correctly, this is like my 360th show on Blog Talk Radio, and I did have people from the Confederacy call into my podcast show about 2 years ago, and they explained the Confederacy. And the Daughters of the Confederacy, actually, I think was on my program. Keep the flag flying. Go back in the archive, listen to that show, but hopefully I can get them back on. Let's try here. This could be Bernie Sanders' campaign, or it could be Kamala Harris. I've already called them a dozen times. They've already explained their position. The interns there that answer the phone for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris will not give me any time of the day to come on my podcast because I'm not CNN and I'm not part of the corporate news media that is in bed with the Federal Reserve banking cartel. So let's see here. Let's try Bernie Sanders' campaign one more time here. And this could be a crank call now, so I'll hang up quick.
Either the number you've dialed is not a...
Yeah, all right. No, all right. That wasn't Bernie Sanders. You see what you get when you call in the internet. All right, let's take a couple more callers here and then wrap up tonight's show. So 952, do you want to come back on here? 952, or did I already have you on? I don't know. I've got a dozen numbers here that I can go on. But Tony Gaga's show, if I'm promoting his show, tune in to Tony Gaga. I think he's on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Actually, I'm not sure. Bitbanker. But tune in to Tony Gaga. I'm going to try to get on there tonight. Go ahead, 952. You want to talk?
Well, I just wanted to say this is Frank the Janitor. I just want to say I support you, Josph Gibson. And I don't like the fact that all these people are calling you and you know, just talking stupid things. I don't like it. So I just want to say I support you. And, you know, you're a good host. And I love the platform. The times which we live in today, I think it's a good thing, and don't let these people rattle you. Okay, just don't let them do it. You're a good.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that, sir. I really do. And I want to thank all the callers who took their time to call in tonight, even if I disagreed with them and whatnot. But hey, tonight, Tony Gaga's show. If he's having a show here tonight, Bitbanker, is he having a show tonight? Do you know by any chance?
Yes, he is.
It's not a brick and mortar show, but it's a show. He's having it.
His Mother's Day.
I don't want to criticize my friend Tony Gaga. I don't want to criticize him. I know people went on there pretending to be me last Sunday. I was busy last Sunday. I didn't do a show. So, and then I guess the Monday night show I did, people Tony Gaga was a little upset with me. It was a pre-recorded message, of course. Somebody played it. I guess he was yelling at me. But I'm going to try to get on to his podcast here tonight and call in and straighten this mess out. So 321 real quick, and then we'll wrap up the program. 321, go ahead. Hopefully it's not Mr. Hello. 321, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Gibson, this is Eugene calling from Pottersville, Florida. How are you tonight?
Oh yes, Florida. My friend from Florida that always tunes in. Did you listen to the podcast tonight? I called some people there and asked them about what a Federal Reserve note was. I'm sure if you listen to my show, you know what a Federal Reserve note is.
Well, of course. I mean, everybody knows. Look at the dollar bill, and it says Federal Reserve note on there. Everybody knows about that.
Amen. Exactly.
Nuevo Ordo Seclorum.
That's right.
E pluribus
New World
unum.
Order.
Yep. Anyway, Dylan, I know you. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. You're there, sir. There was
that?
some background noise from some other callers. Go ahead. I'll give you a couple minutes to wrap up tonight's program. Mandelicon didn't check in with me tonight. I guess maybe he's not feeling well. So, but go ahead.
He probably couldn't get through because you got so many crazy crank callers tonight. Just
yeah,
nuts.
I agree.
But anyway, I know you have some experience when it comes to lawn maintenance. I had somebody tell me that I should never cut more than 1 inch off my grass at a time, that it hurts it. What do you think about that?
I used to be a landscaper years ago. Yes, I was. So I did have, and you should always cut your grass at 3 inches. But if it gets hot, and your blades should be sharp, and otherwise you could always look at the and tell when your blades on your mower are not sharp because you'll see brown spots at the end of the tip of the grass blade. But no, cutting it at 1 inch is not a good idea. We used to call that gouging the grass. Not a good idea, but you should always cut your lawn to 3 to 3.5 inches. Excuse me. Of course, if your grass is 9 inches tall and you cut it at 3 inches, that's not a good thing either. But when you first start cutting your grass in the springtime, you should cut it at 3 to 3.5 inches. Make sure the blades are sharp. And otherwise, like I said, you can always tell when your blades are dull on your mower because if you look at your grass and pick up a speck of grass and you see a little brown spot at the end a couple days after you mowed, then obviously you're gouging your grass. So hopefully I gave you some good advice. But years ago I did do landscaping as a hobby of mine. It was a hobby, of course. And, to better my medical condition for my post-traumatic stress disorder, that surviving 2 murder attempts in my life, it was only done so as a hobby. And it's always good to have a hobby to better your medical condition. Hopefully I gave you some good advice. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, tonight was an interesting podcast. Tonight was an interesting podcast, as always. I appreciate the people that take so much time to talk and then get a few digs in at the end. I mean, obviously, you work very hard to get in on the phone line, and I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. There's one thing you never get back in life, and that's your time. So if you took your time out to listen to my podcast, I appreciate it. But we did expose tonight the dumbed-down, morally bankrupt society, uneducated people we have in our society, even in my area, by calling a couple of local pizza places and Taco Bell, and they didn't even know what a Federal Reserve note is. And these are the people that are going to go to the ballot boxes and vote in your next corporate president. So shame on them. Shame on them. Oh, maybe we'll do that again sometime. That was pretty fun.
Where are they getting this Bridget? Who are they talking about?
I don't know. They're going on my Facebook page, looking up personal information, hacking into my computer. Hey, look, pal, I go through this all the time. Terrible. This is what I always tell people. You know what? I'll leave the porch light on for you.
That should be off limits.
I'll leave the porch light on for you anytime you want to come by. You know where I work out. We went over this many times. I go to Gold's Gym, Brassfield Shopping Center, in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's where I work out. So, look, that's irrelevant. Like I said, the show is called Understanding the Times in Which We Live in Tonight. Hey, make sure everyone tunes into Tony Gaga's show here tonight.
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Couple questions. Yeah, we're going to try to listen to a little bit of Tony tonight, too, if we can. With all this grass cutting going on during this good weather, and all the GMOs they're making, why can't they make GMO grass that only grows to 4 inches and then get rid of all this grass cutting altogether? Yeah, that would be the way to go. I mean, if they're so interested in genetically modified organisms. But I wanted to.
Well, I said
the election process was corrupt. What I should have said, the election process has been corrupted. Because look at it this way: I had 100 yards of topsoil delivered for my garden, and I had to spread it all a shovelful at a time. So I figured a better way would be to go to Home Depot and just buy 3 bags and fill up 12 pots. That's akin to buying off 524 electoral voters or 160 million voters. So we all know Hillary, won the primary by scamming Bernie somehow. So I think that's how Trump got around the electoral votes.
Yep.
Well, Trump was groomed 3 years. Actually, Trump was groomed to be president. Presidents are selected. A little inside information for you. I'm not going to tell you where I got that from, but somebody did tell me Trump was selected as president 3 years prior to the election. And your next president, guess what? What if I told you who your next president was going to be? What if I made that prediction here, or I told you my inside information? There'd be SWAT team in my house tomorrow morning, trust me. But I already know who the next president's going to be, trust me. And if you pay attention to this podcast, all right, if you pay attention to this podcast, I talk to people all around the country. So, therefore, anyway, understanding the times which we live in, we're going to end the episode. Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless. Be safe.